Afolabi Adebayo Adeola was the beloved son of Baba and Mama Adeola of Iliasalu, Okeare, Ilu.
My name is Adeola. I am the eldest of the children of Afolabi Adeola.
So I'm Afolabi Adebayo, the second born of my father, and this is my husband, Peter Adebayo.
My name is Adeola.
Adeola Adeniyi.
I'm number 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. She's 5. She looks like she's 1.
Afolabi Adebayo Adeola was about 12 years old when his father died. He was born on September 13, 1934, in Akasa, near Port Novo, Dahomey, now Republic of Benin, where his late father was a smoked fish merchant. He was the only son of his mother, Iyagba Duty, and the last born of his parents.
I met my husband. Actually, we met in the hospital. He was sick, he was on admission, and there were 2 of us, young nurses. My friend Tolu took care of him when he got in, and I took over in the evening, and that was how we actually started. And never did we know that we are going to end up as husband and wife.
I remember my father being a soft-spoken, relatively quiet. However, if he gets talking, he can talk and talk and talk.
So of the siblings, I am the one, I think, that didn't grow up with my father, which is really unfortunate. So I don't have as many experiences with him as the other children. But my experience of him was that he, for some strange reason, really loved England. He loved the Queen, and he loved somewhere called Piccadilly Circus. He's always talking about Piccadilly Circus. Or I think he liked Margaret Thatcher as well. So those are the kind of discussions we talk about. We talk about he always talks about England. Absolutely loves England.
Probably one of the most gentle people I've ever met in my life. He was very kind. I remember being very, very irritated with him because I felt like anybody could just walk into the house and come live here and come stay here. So he was very, very giving, very kind, very gentle. But he loved sports. He loved music, loved sports, and loved everything American and England.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My friends used to be like, "Oh my God, your daddy does he speak Yoruba?" Or like he would always speak English, just English. He was very stylish. He smelled so good. Oh my God. I feel like we the kids, I can speak for us, got the love of fragrances from our dad. If daddy walks into this room, this place is filled with good smell. He always smelled so good. He always dressed very neat. Once he gets buy like complete dressing, and he will have that in his purse. Daddy loved the papano. You can never catch him not having granuts, sweets, what else? Chocolate. He just puff. But it's about travel, be a lorry or sugar or something. Amati alone, amaradodo, kire, puff. Like he just loved it. And then me, I didn't have an issue with people living in our house. I thought it was fun, but we always had a full house. Really, we always did. And like I feel like everybody must have said it. Daddy was very, very gentle, extremely gentle. He doesn't talk. No, he was a talker, but he was gentle.
Yeah.
My father, as you know, is a real talkative human being. He talks all the time. And normally when he calls me in London, I sometimes have to actually cut off the phone and pretend that, the line has gone.
Afolabi Adeola started his educational journey at First Baptist Day School, Okeare, Ire, popularly known as Sukuoke. Some of his classmates were Mr. Paul B.C. Agbola of International Cards, Architect Kofo Popola, and others of blessed memory. His mother had to obtain loans, Uwele, from Oba's Palace for him to pursue his post-primary school education. He gained admission into the Great Baptist College, Iwo, and became a qualified teacher. He taught at many Baptist primary schools in the whole Western region and Kwara. He rose to the level of headmaster at Ilaro Baptist Day School in 1959. He then left for the United Kingdom in 1961 to join his first young wife, the late Mama Olukemi Adeola.
We just took care of him and he went away. And later, when I was in the university at University of Ibadan, somebody just called me one day. That was in 1982 and said, "Do you know one Mr. Adeola?" I said, "Adeola, okay." My patient on West 2 said, "He's waiting for you." I said, no, he cannot be waiting for me. But actually, he was waiting for me. And he now said, each time he passes through Bodija and he sees any nurse in white, he will always remember he was in West 2 and he will ask them, "Do you know one Miss Adelabu?" Eventually, he got somebody and the lady said, "We are classmates in UI. I will take you to her." And that was how the journey started. And I really did not want to marry him because he was an old man. But my friends in UI, I had one Igbo girl and she will tell me, "Ronke, this is the type of men we marry in our place, so older men. He will take care of you." I said, "No, I can't marry this Baba that will die." So I said, "Baba will die, oh." And she said, "He won't die." Eventually, one day, my uncle saw him. And my uncle said, "That's why." I said, "One Baba that will not allow me to rest." My uncle said, "No, you are going to marry him. He's handsome." I said, "Why are you all saying that I will marry him? This Baba will die. He's too old." But it has become a real kokumo. And we have been married for 41 years. 41 good years of good memories.
My first encounter with him was very, very special because I could recall when I was still kind of just trying to get my wife now, my girlfriend then. He was always looking and, thinking who I am. And it was a very cool guy. We spoke a few times and, gave me some advice. And, it was something that I would always remember. There was one time that he called me and he said, "Adebi, I know you're going back to where you're from. I would like you to, just let's make our girlfriend and boyfriend relationship official." I was kind of surprised because I just came home to do one or two things. I wasn't really ready for it. And I was like, "Okay, no problem. Let's get it done." I called my family, I called my friends, and we went to court and we did what we had to do. And, since then on, God has blessed us immensely with different things. We have kids, we have things that you can always imagine. And my wife, which is Baba's daughter, has been a source of joy and blessing to me and my family as a whole.
My first encounter with Baba was when in the 80s. Yeah, in the 80s when Lai and I were dating, and he would. The thing that I'm fond of was him taking me and a friend out, just around Ibadan, with me visiting Ibadan to see him. And then he would, I think they were in Agodi at the time, and him taking us out. I talked to my friend recently about that. She doesn't remember, but he would take us out, maybe to UCH or to some places to see friends and family. And on the way, always he would stop by on the way to the Yidi Islamic ground. There are sellers of agbado there, and he loved snacks, especially corn, roasted corn. And he was one of the first people that got me really very, very interested in agbado corn, because the way he handled agbado corn is like so special to him. He enjoyed it and always bought agbado roasted corn when he went out, and if you're not with him, he will bring it home and shared with people. He loved his family. From the time that I've met him, I never really saw him going out with friends, hanging out with friends, but more staying at home, reading newspapers, and just loving God, and loved to go to church. He loved Sunday school. His visits to America, the church people missed him when he left because he just related to them well. And so, I mean, my fond memories of him was just, taking life easy, not really, being too worried about anything really, other than just having a structure of family life and just being at home.
It's a very interesting relationship I had with Baba. Baba Adeola is not a father-in-law to me. He was a father to me. Since I met him, I never felt like a father-in-law. So close to us whenever I'm here. I'm more in Nigeria than Bolaji is. I travel to Nigeria most of the time and I come here. And Baba went to our house. Each time he's going to Ire, he'd come to my sister, he'd sit down, they have a long talk. It's a very interesting family to me because when my younger sister, who is a DG, started her career, she happened to be working in the same television station and radio station with Baba, and they never knew. So when I brought Bolaji home, I said, let's go to our dad. And then we realized the relationship between my sister and one of my sisters and Baba. Besides that, Baba is a true Christian in that he lived the life of Christ rather than just being a Christian. He's an exemplary of what Christianity should be. You pinch me, it hurts me. If I pinch you, I'll hurt you. So once those little philosophies are there, and that's how Baba lives his life with anybody, whether he is his biological child or not. He never gave me one iota of problem all my life as an in-law.
He worked briefly at the post office in London before enrolling at the Northwestern Polytechnic, London, where he earned the Higher National Diploma in Economics and Marketing. This was followed by a move to the United States of America, where he received an MBA degree from Emory University in Atlanta. Upon completing the requirements for the MBA degree, he was employed by the Philip Morris USA, where he worked on sales of cigarettes in Harlem, New York and environs. He quickly rose to the position of sales manager and was deployed to Nigeria to head the marketing department. The job involved a lot of traveling through the length and breadth of Nigeria.
He instilled a lot of discipline in me. He will always tell me to choose my friends carefully. I remember his saying that, show me your friends, I will tell you the kind of individual that you are. I always remember him for that, and I kept that at the back of my mind always. And in terms of integrity, he will always tell me that orúkọ rere ó sàn ju wúrà àti fàdákà lọ. A good name is much pricier and better than gold and silver. Telling me that I should be man of my words, man of integrity, and so I always keep that to my heart. The third thing is he encouraged excellence in me. He will always admonish me to strive for the highest. He will tell me that he had an MBA and that anything less than that in terms of education, that I should think seriously about surpassing him. So that's part of the encouragement for me. After my bachelor's degree, I had a first-class honors and went to Canada on a Commonwealth scholarship for master's and PhD degrees. And thereafter, I was hired as a professor. I'm a professor of animal sciences at Purdue University. So those were the kind of things that my father instilled in me.
Baba is somebody that I love so much until the day he died. He always called me my Guinness supplier. And if you don't know what that is, we always drink together. Each time he visited us in the United States, I always make sure that my fridge and his room is all packed with Guinness. He loves Guinness so much, I don't know why. He tried to tell me the story behind Guinness a few times, but when we drink and drink and drink until we don't remember anything. Up until last moment, he still drank Guinness, even though mommy would say that Adebayo kilo man fun baba loti mu fun. But I will always tell mommy, drinking is not actually bad, but too much is bad. So up until his last moment, Baba would drink maybe one Guinness for like 5 days, but he still made sure that he drank Guinness regardless of his condition.
You have to give him his breakfast in a particular way. There are several layers of breakfast. He has to start with something and then followed by something else. And he may not eat lunch, but he loved, and it would take his time to get ready in the morning. Maybe spend forever in the bathroom just cleaning up and showering and brushing and shaving and all of that. But he was just, he just had a very homely personality that is worthy of emulation. Unfortunately, we don't tell people when they are alive some of these things. It's after they're gone that we talk about them. It would have been nice for me to have told him that I think what you've been doing all along when you were young was really cool, that you give your time to family and just love being at home. And I really never saw him just hanging out with friends. It's such a powerful thing.
That time, I remember when I was in university those days, anytime I see my daddy's call, I'll be like, oh God, I'll be on the phone for 1 hour. He will finish your credits, he'll finish his own credits, he will now credit you back. But it was, Daddy was such a kind man. He was, and he loved God. We must pray in the morning when we wake up. We must pray before we go to bed. I'm sure you've heard this multiple times. Daddy loved music. He had a very beautiful voice. He loved to sing. What else? And he doesn't, his mommy is a person. Daddy doesn't. He doesn't even, he doesn't shout.
Yeah, very, very gentle, very kind.
He was very kind and gentle.
My first interaction with him was walking through that door, getting to the doorstep, opening the door, and then the lights turning off, lights turning on, lights turning off, lights turning on. I was 4, something like that. This was new territory for me, and I screamed out, "Who's playing with the lights?" causing him and everybody else to start laughing because I hadn't experienced that before. But the ones that I remember more were when he visited a few, sometime later. I remember him taking me out on my way to school, helping me to get to the bus. I remember us having little discussions about the difference between British English and US English. So say, throw this rubbish away. And what's rubbish? Throw it in the dustbin. What's the dustbin? Like I wouldn't know what he was talking about in English because we'll use different vocabulary. And that's one of the things I remember early on. Those interactions, learning, I think for the first time, the difference between American English, the only thing I'd been exposed to at the time, and this other way of speaking the same language. And of course, Grandpa, he explains things, so I'll just learn and learn and learn from him. But yeah, those are some of my first memories with him.
Baba is so learned. He's widely read. He's acquainted with what's going on. I know he admires the colonial masters, their ways and things.
He does.
Because the big gap in terms of our development.
Yeah, and
he wishes us to be developed.
And in fact, he thinks about the West with such affection that it would break his heart to know what it's really like there. So we always keep him in that belief that his
understanding of past of England.
England is amazing.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, my mother's surname is Adeola. Baba is Adeola. Our first son is Adeola. Yeah. So when my wife decided to play the woman's thing, where she hyphenated her name and mine, Adeola Badijo, as her surname, it didn't make any difference to me. So it's like my mother's name or Baba's name. So there we are. The Adeola family is not an outside family to me. The name is already hyphenated in our own lives, and we are the baggage of the Adeola family.
When the Nigerian government established the Nigerian National Supplies Company (NNSC) in the mid-1970s, just before the first tax 77, he was employed as one of the first set of very senior management staff. He became a manager in Lagos and was sent to Ibadan to establish the NNSC office in Oyo State as a general manager. Pa Adeola was later employed at the then Television Service of Oyo State as a controller of commercial services, then Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State until the creation of state in 1992, when he had to move to Osho State Broadcasting Corporation and Osho State TV in Osogbo, Osho State. He retired as Director, Commercial Services, having attained the mandatory retirement age of 60 years.
When we started, he will not allow me to touch anything. I don't know how to touch, how to switch on fridge or whatever, buy gas. He did all the running around. He was such a loving man, very quiet, and always getting after me. When I get annoyed, he will say, me, I cannot afford to fail. And if he does not remember my birthday, he will go and buy card, buy things, buy orishirishi. He was such a loving soul, and everybody that I bring home becomes his person. Men know, women know, my colleagues in the office, junior workers, my cousins, my siblings, they all became his children. And that's why we have a group called Abayomi Group in this house, all kinds of orishirishi, no one there.
He was an engaging man when it comes into talking about international affairs, talking about economics, the economy of the world, geography of the world. He enjoyed talking about such topics. And he loved music. He loved music, jazz, classic, gospel, spiritual, any kind of music. He was an organist for some of the churches that we attended, so we enjoyed listening to very, very good music.
His advice is always "Rot your meniti wanshe," which translates to "Remember the son of whom you are," and that has always been my watchword, even when I was dating till now. And I will always remember that. To cap everything all up, Baba was a good man. He was a man that never really talk much, but his impact in our lives, we can never forget.
So I would just say that if there's any way, what I could say to him is that we just appreciate who he was. His legacies live on, and just grateful for all the people that come out of him.
Then whenever he comes to visit, you just he and my husband used to fight because not fight. He will pack all the throw pillows in the house and put it on his back. He wouldn't even care about every other person, and he'll sit down there with his Guinness, watch TV all day. And mom, obviously, we've said this multiple times. Mommy was an enabler. She took care of him to the T. Daddy wants corn chips. Daddy wants tea. Daddy wants, and he would just sit down in that corner. He would eat, and it's not like he eat, but he didn't eat heavy. One can like come and nibble on small things.
The thoughts that I have thinking about his passing are more along the lines of, Grandpa showed love. He cared for me. He loved to discuss things. He loved to recall topics of interest, and the combination of those ended up being that I experienced God's love through him.
He's very fond of his first son, Afolabi Adebayo Adeola. When he was on admission, he will always talk to us. My son, Lai, is at University of Ife. My son will soon come. And I did not have opportunity of meeting him until one evening when we started, and he just saw me. We saw him coming. He said, "That's my son coming." And I looked, I said, "Which one is your son? This tiny one, and you are big." And he said, "That's Lai, that's my boy." So, but since that day, Lai took me as his auntie. All his friends, they will come to the house. They will hug me, and I thank God for the family.
I think the person I am today is because of him. I would really say he was my best friend, and he'll be very missed, very, very missed. He took care of each and every one of us. No matter who the person was, he found a way to take care of them. So, like I said, not many people will invite people into their house, and I wouldn't do it. So he exemplified just having that caring openness that a lot of us need. So,
and Baba is very interesting. When we first had the Adeola, our first son, and we brought him to greet Baba. Baba said, Peter, Misha, how come you cheated my daughter so much? He looks like you, and he's a boy. So I jokingly told Baba, I said, don't worry, next time I'll let your daughter have a good chance. And lo and betide, God was good. Our second child was Fumilayo, who looks so much like that. So Baba and I live on that kind of relationship or friendship, and he doesn't even impress you or press you with his life.
The Lord blessed him with a young, beautiful lady, Aderonke Adeola nee Adelabu. They were married in 1984. Afolabi Adeola enjoyed his 41 years of glorious marriage before he was called home on Monday, the 14th of April 2025. He was well taken care of by his lovely wife, Aderonke, a nurse, to the core, and his grateful children.
I miss him every day because I literally used to speak to him like every day. And once he sees me, his face just lights up. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is Abike. And obviously, I don't have that anymore. I miss him a lot. Everybody that is close to me knows that my daddy has my heart, but we know he's old and he has to go. Hopefully, he's enjoying himself in heaven.
The last few days of his life, when he looks at me, he will say thank you. And I put food in his mouth. He say, thank you. I said, why are you thanking me? I'm doing what the Lord has given. And the last few days, when he refused food, I said, you won't eat. So I decided to put Milo in a bottle of Aquadana small water. And I'll be putting it in his mouth. And once he sips it, he will say thank you. I said, bro, stop looking at me. Later he said, why are you disturbing my territory? I said, which territory? So he now said, leave me alone, no more food, no drug, no nothing. I said, well, we thank God for your life. We started together. We said until death do us part. Now gradually death is coming, and we give God the glory that we parted amicably. So we are not sorrowing. I'm giving God all the praise that I saw him through various stages, and the Lord helped me to take care of him. Like the pastor said, you cannot enter this house and perceive any odor, and you cannot come near his bed and see him dirty or anything like that. He was well taken care of, and I thank God for the people that were helping me to carry him. Mr. Yakubu, he just volunteered. We are not paying him anything, it's whatever we give him. And he comes in twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. He will come in. And when Baba sees him, he say, it's Lale, Bobole Yinko. And when the children call, he say, Mutolani Abike, Awon Reda. Hello, children. And we just have very fond memories of him. And I pray that the good Lord will keep the family as one.
And we want to appreciate him. We want to appreciate the marks that he left behind. He left good kids behind. I just want to pray that may the good Lord grant him eternal life, and we'll see some other time if God permits. And I pray that Ki Odungo Jino Surawo. Thank you for what you did for us while you were alive. I will always be grateful to you, and we'll see you some other time.
We will miss Baba a lot.
We will. Yeah.
The Lord will keep me to keep the family, because it takes the grace of God for the family not to disintegrate after the demise of the head of the family. I know that the children, the Lord will help me to keep all of them together as one family, united, and èmi náà ẹ̀mí mi á dẹ̀ gùn fún wọn. Àwọn náà ẹ̀mí wọn á gùn. They really took care of their father because láìsí wọn, my little pension is not enough to carry the two of us. And he will ask me, Adérónkẹ́ níbo ló tiẹ̀ tí ń rówó tá fi ń jẹun? And I will just smile. The children are sending us money.
We will miss him dearly, but what I've always had at the back of my mind is that he left a good legacy behind. He trained us very well. We are all very successful, and we are also making impacts in our daily lives. So we'll miss him. However, he's at peace right now, and we will celebrate his life, and we will, not forget him.
Afolabi Adebayo Adeola, Ìyẹ̀rú Ọ̀kín, ọmọ Adeola, ọmọ Ìjàkadì lóru Ọ̀fà, ọmọ Abíṣojú Ọkọ, ọmọ Ọlọ́fà, ọmọ Asálù ní ìlú Ìrè, sùn